आज की इस संवादशाला में आप सभी का हार्दिक अभिनंदन और स्वागत है। ये आज बड़े सौभाग्य का अवसर है कि आज हम जिस विषय पे चर्चा करने जा रहे हैं वो बड़ी दुर्लभ, गुह्य और गोपनीय सामान्य रूप से रहती है। केवल साधकों का उसमें जो है प्रवेश रहता है। लेकिन जैसी भगवती की इच्छा हुई और तदनुकूल आज हमें ये अवसर उपलब्ध हुआ है कि आज हमें एक योग्य साधक जो है उनका हमें सानिध्य मिला है और उनके माध्यम से हम ये प्रयास करेंगे इन संबंधों को जानने की, जिसको हम कश्मीर शैव दर्शन या त्रिक दर्शन कहते हैं, और दूसरी ओर श्रीविद्या और श्रीचक्र। तो इनका जो आंतर संबंध है, इंटर रिलेशनशिप है, उसके ऊपर विचार करने का आज हमें सौभाग्य अवसर प्राप्त हुआ है। और मैं आज के जो मुख्य वक्ता हैं उनसे परिचय कराने से पूर्व उनका धन्यवाद पहले करना चाहूँगा और फिर उनका स्वागत करूँगा और फिर आप लोगों से उनका परिचय भी कराऊँगा। धन्यवाद इसलिए क्योंकि ये एक ऐसा विषय था, क्षेत्र था, जिसके बारे में मैंने अभी तक विचार नहीं किया था और मेरा ध्यान भी इस ओर नहीं गया था। लेकिन उन्होंने जिस प्रकार अपने रुचि को प्रदर्शित किया, उससे मेरा ध्यान इधर आकृष्ट हुआ और मुझे भी इन सब विषयों के बारे में जानने का जो है उत्सुकता हुई। तो इसलिए उनका धन्यवाद करना बनता है कि शायद भगवती की कृपा ही थी कि उनके माध्यम से आज हम सब यहाँ एकत्रित हुए हैं और मेरा भी ध्यान इस ओर आकर्षित हुआ है। और स्वागत इसलिए कि क्योंकि वो अभी युवा अवस्था में हैं, बिल्कुल यंग हैं, लेकिन उनके साथ एक दीर्घ लंबी परंपरा है, जिसके विषय में मैं आप लोगों के साथ अभी विषय प्रवेश के बाद जो है उनसे परिचय कराऊंगा। तो जैसा कि आप लोग अपने स्क्रीन के ऊपर विषय को देख ही पा रहे हैं कि हम कश्मीर शैव दर्शन, जिसे त्रिक दर्शन के नाम से अभिहित किया जाता है, और श्रीविद्या या श्रीचक्र का जो आपस के संबंध हैं, जिसके विषय में सामान्य रूप से कोई चर्चा नहीं होती है, उन संबंधों का जो विमर्श है उसकी हम चर्चा करने जा रहे हैं। तो उसमें सबसे पहले आप श्रीचक्र, जो कि अपने आप में बहुत एक रहस्यमय यंत्र है, चक्र है, और उसको प्रणाम पूर्वक मैं ये कह सकता हूँ कि चक्रम शिवयोर वपुः, ये जो श्री यंत्र है, श्री चक्र है, ये शिव और शिवा का विग्रह है, उनका शरीर है। और आप सभी लोग जो इस विद्या से किंचित परिचय भी जिनका है, वो सभी जानते हैं कि इसमें कितने त्रिकोण हैं, बिंदु, त्रिकोण, वसुकोण, दशार, युग्म और नागदल, षोडशार जो हैं, और वृत्त त्रय हैं। इन सब चीज़ों से आप लोग परिचित सामान्य रूप से होंगे। मैं बहुत संक्षेप में आप लोगों का इस सारे विषय में प्रवेश कराना चाहता हूँ। विस्तार पूर्वक जो है हमारे मुख्य वक्ता वो इस विषय पे बात करेंगे। तो मुख्य रूप से आपको जो ध्यान रखने वाली बात है कि इस श्री यंत्र जो है उसका स्वरूप जो है, जिसमें सर्व आनंदमय, बिंदु, सर्व सिद्धि प्रद, अंतः त्रिकोण आदि आदि ये सारे त्रिकोण और दशार आदि उपलब्ध होते हैं, और इससे श्री चक्र बनता है। और इसके दो पक्ष हैं, एक होता है नाद पक्ष और दूसरा है इसका बिंदु पक्ष। तो नाद और वस्तुतः नाद और बिंदु के आपस के संबंध क्या हैं और किस तरह से ये सारी सृष्टि का सारे समस्त ब्रह्मांड की रचना करता है, ये जानने और समझने की बात है, जो साधक जिसके लिए साधना करते हैं। और इसी श्री चक्र का जो हमें देवी रूप में स्वरूप उपलब्ध होता है, वो आप लोगों के सामने है ही है। त्रिपुर बाला सुंदरी के रूप में, त्रिपुर सुंदरी के रूप में बहुत सारे नाम हैं जिनसे हम इनको अभिहित करते हैं। और इन श्री विद्या और श्री चक्र, इन दोनों के बारे में जब कश्मीर शैव दर्शन की दृष्टि से हम देखना और समझना चाहते हैं, तो पहले सामान्य बुद्धि से हम इसकी ओर एक दृष्टिपात कर लेते हैं। शैव दर्शन, जिसको त्रिक दर्शन के नाम से कहा जाता है और ज़्यादा सार्थक और ज़्यादा अर्थपूर्ण है, कि जब आप त्रिक शब्द का प्रयोग करते हैं तो त्रिक का मतलब होता है त्रयस्तीर्णतमा संख्या। ये निरुक्तकार इस की व्याख्या करते हैं कि 3 तत्वों में से जो सबसे आगे आगे रहने वाला, अग्रणी रहने वाला और फॉरमोस्ट जो एलिमेंट है, वो त्रिक का मूल अर्थ है। 3 तो है ही है, ट्रिनिटी तो है, लेकिन ट्रिनिटी केवल जड़ नहीं है। ट्रिनिटी वो है जिसमें एक एलिमेंट हमेशा अग्रसर रहता है, उसको खींच करके ले चलता है, विस्तार की ओर अग्रसर करता है, और कभी को दूसरा पक्ष जो है, सेकंड एलिमेंट, वो दूसरी दिशा में ले चलता है। तो वस्तुतः त्रिक इसी रूप में है। और अगर आप ये भी देखें तो त्रिक में जो सबसे पहला जो हमें तत्व देखने को मिलेगा, वो स्पंद मिलेगा। और मुझे लगता है कि ये बड़ी एक वैज्ञानिक बात भी है और सामान्य बुद्धि की बात भी है कि सबसे पहले कहीं ना कहीं हमें स्पंद की आवश्यकता होती है, जिससे हमें अस्तित्व का बोध होता है। और फिर उस स्पंद के बाद जैसे जैसे उस स्पंद का विस्तार होने लगता है, स्पंद बार बार होने लगता है, तो उसमें आप एक क्रम तो देखते ही हैं कि स्पंद जो है उसमें एक क्रमिकता आपको दिखाई देने लगती है। और जैसे जैसे क्रमिकता बढ़ती है, क्रम बढ़ता चला जाता है, चाहे वो सृष्टि क्रम है या अन्य सारे क्रम है, तो वो सारा का सारा मिलके वो अपने आप में कुल कहलाता है। तो स्पंद, कुल, क्रम और कुल, ये एक तरीका है इस सारे दृष्टिकोण को समझने का कि स्पंद से क्रम, क्रम से जो है कुल। और जो ये जो अंतिम प्रतिभिज्ञा जिसे हम कहते हैं, वो मुझे लगता है कि वो संप्रदाय नहीं है, वो तो अंतिम उपलब्धि है। इन तीनों के माध्यम से, स्पंद, क्रम और कुल से, हम प्रतिभिज्ञा को प्राप्त होते हैं। और यही श्री यंत्र और श्री विद्या और त्रिक दर्शन के आपसी संबंधों को यहीं से हम व्याख्यायित करने का प्रयास करेंगे, समझने का कोशिश करेंगे। अब इसमें जो हमारे मुख्य रूप से इश्यूज थे, जो मैंने आप लोगों के साथ नोट में साझे किए थे, उसमें जो 2 तरह के इश्यूज हैं, एक फिलोसफिकल इश्यूज हैं और दूसरे जो हैं वो साधना परक इश्यूज हैं। फिलोसफिकल इश्यूज में है कि इन दोनों के मध्य जो है नॉन डुअलिस्टिक अद्वैत, उसका स्वरूप, फिर शिव शक्ति के संबंध का स्वरूप क्या है, स्वातंत्र जिसे आप क्रिया और सत्ता स्वातंत्र 2 रूपों में आप जानते हैं, उसका स्वरूप क्या है, और फिर 36 तत्व, 36 तत्व जो हैं उनके विषय में, और त्रिक सिद्धांत जिसमें इच्छा, ज्ञान और क्रिया आते हैं, उस सारे विषय को हम किस रूप में जानते और समझते हैं। ये एक दार्शनिक पक्ष है इस संबंध को समझने का। दूसरा, इस संबंध का जो साधना पक्ष है, जिसमें यंत्र, ज्योमेट्री एंड 36 तत्वाज, इनके रिलेशनशिप को जानना होगा, देखना होगा, उसको हम देखेंगे। फिर उसके बाद क्रम साधना है, उसको किस रूप में हम देखते हैं, क्योंकि सारे के सारे श्री विद्या जो है वो क्रम रूप में आती है। फिर मंत्र साधना और फिर देहस्थ चक्र साधना, ये सारे विषय हैं जो इस श्री यंत्र और त्रिक दर्शन के आपस के संबंधों को विश्लेषित करने में हमें सहायक होंगे। अब इसके बाद इस सारे विषय पे हम एक बार पुनः विचार करें कि ये हम विमर्श या ये संवाद क्यों करना चाह रहे हैं। तो इस विमर्श और संवाद के 2 पक्ष हैं। पहला है कि हम ये जानना चाहते हैं कि बिंदु से विस्तार और विस्तार से बिंदु की प्रक्रिया को समझना चाहते हैं कि कैसे बिंदु का विस्तार होता है और सारी सृष्टि तक होता चला जाता है। और दूसरा ये है कि सत्ता स्वातंत्र से क्रिया स्वातंत्र की जो अनंतता है, वो किस तरह से अभिव्यक्त होती है, उसको हम जानना और समझना चाहते हैं। इस दृष्टि से अगर आप ये देखें, तो अगर आप स्वयं को केंद्र में रखें, इस संबंध के समझने के लिए मैं कह रहा हूं कि केंद्र में अगर आप स्वयं को रखें, अपनी चेतना को रखें, चैतन्य को रखें, शक्ति को रखें, तो उसको हम कह सकते हैं अस्थि और भाति। ये 2 शब्दों का एक समस्त पद जो है वो इस बात को स्पष्ट करता है हमारे होने को। और वहां से ये स्वेच्छा सभित्तो विश्वम उन्मीलयति, ये आप सभी जानते हैं कि वो अपनी विल पावर के द्वारा जो है वो शी अनफोल्ड्स द यूनिवर्स ऑन हर ओन कैनवस। कैसे? तो उसमें जो है यहाँ केंद्र से या बिंदु से वो विस्तार की ओर अग्रसर होती है। लेकिन ये विस्तार मुझे लगता है कि 2 भागों में हमें देखना चाहिए, समझना चाहिए। पहला जो विस्तार है वो उसकी सीमा यहाँ से शुरू होती है, जो जिन्हें हम कंचुक कहते हैं, जिसमें माया, कला, विद्या, राग, काल, नियति और फिर उसके बाद जो है अहम इदम इदम अहम इदम 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 अहम अहम यहाँ पे, और फिर सप्त प्रमाता अंतःकरण और हमारे जो कार्मल, माइक और आणमल हैं, ये हमारी परिधि को निश्चित कर देते हैं। ये प्रथम विस्तार है, ये एक्सपेंशन जो फर्स्ट एक्सपेंशन है, क्योंकि इसके बाद जो है वो सारा ब्रह्मांड हमारे सामने विद्यमान होता है। अब इसके बीच में हम हमारा हमारी हमारे में माया का अंश कितना है, हमारी कला कितनी विकसित है, हमारी विद्या कितनी विकसित है, हमारे में राग की मात्रा कितनी है, या हमारा काल या नियति कितनी है, हमारा अहम इदम का या इदम अहम का ज्ञान कितना है, उसको आप ए 1 to 16 के स्केल पे आप एवेल्युएट कर सकते हैं। बिल्कुल एक सब्जेक्टिव स्केलिंग है, ये सब्जेक्टिव एवेल्यूशन है। क्योंकि जब तक मुझे यही नहीं पता होगा कि मेरे में माया तत्व का अंश कितना है, कला अंश कितना है, विद्या तत्व कितना है, जब तक यही मुझे नहीं ज्ञान होगा, तो मैं साधना में मेरी प्रवृत्ति कैसे बनेगी और किस स्तर की प्रवृत्ति बनेगी, उसके लिए ये एक सामान्य सा टेस्ट कह लीजिए, परीक्षा कह लीजिए, सेल्फ एवेल्युएशन कह लीजिए, ये हमें कर लेनी चाहिए। अब मान लीजिए कि आप अपने दृष्टिकोण से, अगर आपने साधना में प्रवृत्त होना है, दर्शन में प्रवृत्त होना है, अगर आप ये मानते हैं कि आप 1 to 16 के स्केल पे, आप में माया जो है 1 to 5 के स्केल पे आती है, कला जो है वो आपके 1 to 6 के स्केल पे आती है, तो आप वहाँ पे चिन्ह लगाते चले जाए, जैसे मैंने ये लगा रखे हैं। और फिर उन बिंदुओं को जब मैं आपस में जोड़ देता हूँ, तो मेरे पास ये एक सब्जेक्टिव असेसमेंट आ जाती है कि इतना तो मैं जानता हूँ, इतना तो मैं विकसित हूँ, लेकिन मुझे श्री विद्या त्रिक दर्शन को जानने के लिए, साधना करने के लिए इतना अभी और विकसित होने की आवश्यकता है। और जब यहाँ से मैं विकसित होने की बात करता हूँ, तो फिर मैं ब्रह्मांड की ओर अग्रसर हो सकता हूँ। क्योंकि जब तक मैं अपनी आइडेंटिटी को निश्चित नहीं करता, मुझे अपनी आइडेंटिटी का पूरा बोध नहीं होगा, तब तक मैं ब्रह्मांड की यात्रा पर कैसे निकल सकता हूँ, उस साधना में कैसे प्रवृत्त होऊंगा। तो वो साधना पूर्ण निष्ठा से हो, इसलिए मुझे अपनी सीमाओं का बोध होना बहुत आवश्यक है। तो इस दृष्टि से हम इस सारे क्षेत्र में प्रवेश करने जा रहे हैं। तो आज इस सारे विषय के ऊपर चर्चा करने के लिए हमारे साथ जो साधक, विद्वान, निष्ठावान उपलब्ध हैं, श्री सुजीत वसंत कुमार जी। वो एक स्वतंत्र रूप से रिसर्चर हैं शाक्त तंत्र के। हालांकि उन्होंने मुझे अपने विषय में केवल मात्र इतना ही बताया है, लेकिन मेरा अपने अनुमान है और जो थोड़ी सी उनसे बातचीत हुई है कि उन्हें ये परंपरा, ये विद्या उनको परंपरा से प्राप्त है और इसमें वो दीक्षित हैं। और ऐसे दीक्षित व्यक्ति का मैंने शुरू में ही कहा कि मैं धन्यवाद भी करता हूँ और उनका स्वागत भी करता हूँ अपनी ओर से, आप सबकी ओर से, और जितनी संस्थाएं हमारी साथ जुड़ी हुई हैं। और ये बड़ी एक सुंदर और श्रेष्ठ बात है, सुखद बात है कि इस तरह के जो यंग लोग हैं, युवा लोग हैं, वो इस विद्या में अधिष्ठित हैं, इस विद्या में प्रतिष्ठित हैं। ये हमारे लिए बड़े गर्व की बात है और बड़े सम्मान की बात है। क्योंकि आवश्यकता सचमुच, हम लोग तो फिर एक निकलती हुई पीढ़ी हैं, लेकिन इस तरह के युवा जब अग्रसर होंगे, तो निश्चित रूप से हमारे लिए इन गुह्य विद्याओं की सुरक्षा जो है वो लगता है कि वो निश्चित रहेगी, भविष्य में वो चलती रहेंगी, कहीं ना कहीं वो आगे बिंदु बीज जो हैं उनका वपन होता रहेगा। और औपचारिक रूप से श्री सुजीत वसंत कुमार जी जो हैं, वो लाल बहादुर शास्त्री नेशनल एकेडमी ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन जो है वहाँ पर कार्यरत हैं, वहाँ ऑफिशियल हैं, गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल हैं। तो वो अपनी संसार यात्रा इस दृष्टि से चला रहे हैं, और जो उनकी यात्रा है वो परंपरा से प्राप्त विद्या से अग्रसर हो रही है। और उनको ध्यान में रखते हुए जब मुझे उनका कुछ अनुमान हुआ था, तो श्री सुजीत जी के लिए मेरे मन में जो एक उनके सम्मान में पोइट्री का, श्री अरविंद की पोइट्री का एक जो पक्ष है, एक पीस है, वो मैं उनके साथ साझा करना चाहता हूँ। और आप सभी जानते हैं कि श्री अरविंद जो है, उनका जो लोगो है, अगर उसको आप देखें तो वो श्री यंत्र के आरंभिक बिंदु का है, और उसमें जो है उन्होंने कमल और ये जल जो है उसको रखा हुआ है। और ये जो नीचे आप चक्र देख रहे हैं, अगर वो बाहरी दलों को आप देखेंगे तो आप देखेंगे कि जो श्री माता जी हैं, अरविंद के साथ जो मदर हैं, उन्होंने जो है ये अपना लोगो रखा हुआ था। तो ये श्री यंत्र का जो केंद्रीय ट्रायंगल है और ये जो सर्कल्स हैं, ये श्री माता के हैं। लेकिन जो मैं आपके सम्मान में जो ये कुछ पंक्तियां आपके साथ साझा करना चाहता हूं, क्योंकि बिल्कुल आप पर वो फिट बैठती हैं आपके सम्मान में, कि हाई आर्किटेक्ट्स ऑफ पॉसिबिलिटी and engineers of the impossible, mathematicians of infinitudes, and theoreticians of the unknowable truths. They formulate enigmas, postulates, and join the unknown to the apparent worlds. Acolytes, they wait upon the timeless power. The cycle of her works investigates, passing her fence of worldless privacy. Their mind could penetrate her occult mind and draw the diagram of her secret thoughts. They read the codes and ciphers she had sealed, copies they made of all her guarded plans. For every turn of her mysterious course assigned a reason and unchanging rule. तो ये मैं आपके सम्मान में प्रस्तुत करना चाहता था और मुझे लगा कि बिल्कुल युक्त है कि आपने जो अपने कंधों पे भार लिया है इस श्री विद्या के ज्ञान को वहन करने का, तो आपका यही दायित्व है, यही आपका कार्य है। तो इससे पूर्व कि मैं इनको आमंत्रित करूं कि इस सारे विषय के ऊपर वो चर्चा आरंभ करें, अपनी दृष्टि से इस सारे विषय को हमसे अवगत कराएं, 2-3 बातें मैं और आपके साथ अगले 2 मिनट में साझा कर लेता हूं, 2-3 मिनट में। क्योंकि जब उन्होंने मेरा ध्यान इस ओर आकर्षित किया था, सुजीत जी ने, तो फिर मुझे क्योंकि थोड़ा सा तो देखना पड़ा, समझने का प्रयास करना पड़ा, और मेरे सामने ये बातें कुछ आई सामने कि सबसे ज्यादा आचार्य अभिनव गुप्त ने श्री चक्र और त्रिक दर्शन के आंतरिक संबंधों पर तंत्रालोक में बातचीत की है, और जिसे मैं पढ़ने नहीं जा रहा हूं, मैं आपके साथ साझा कर दूंगा। लेकिन आप ये देखें, त्रिक दर्शन का जो व्यापकता सिद्धांत है तंत्रालोक में, वो हमें देखने को मिलता है। त्रिकम नाम परम तत्वम यत्र सर्वम प्रतिष्ठितम, शक्ति त्रितय संवित्ति सारम तदेति कथ्यते। तो यहाँ पर तंत्रालोक में हमें देखने को मिलता है कि उस संबंध के ऊपर वो कैसे टिप्पणी कर रहे हैं। केवल इतना ही नहीं, फिर वो श्री विद्या का संकेत और त्रिपुरा संप्रदाय का भी वो उल्लेख जो है तंत्रालोक में करते हैं कि त्रिपुरेति परा देव्या नामना शक्ति त्रयम स्मृतम। इन सब के अर्थ मैं आपके साथ अभी साझा नहीं करने जा रहा, केवल संक्षेप में आपके साथ 2-4 मिनट में बात पूरी करना चाहता हूँ। इसी तरह से तंत्रालोक में श्री चक्र की प्रतीकात्मक व्याख्या वो करते हैं। चक्रम तो नाना विभव प्रदम स्यात्, और एकत्व और नानात्व का अद्वैत भाव भी, उसके ऊपर भी वो अपनी बात रखते हैं, दृष्टिकोण रखते हैं। और साथ ही साथ श्री चक्र का जो आंतरबोध है, नित्य शक्ति और काम कला त्रय, इसके विषय में भी वो तंत्रालोक में चर्चा करते हैं। तो कुल मिलाकर के आचार्य अभिनव गुप्त की दृष्टि और अनुभव से अगर इन दोनों के संबंधों को देखना हो तो हम ये कह सकते हैं कि उनकी दृष्टि में और अनुभव में दर्शन दार्शनिक प्रणाली है चिन्मात्र शक्ति स्पंद के स्तर पर, और श्रीविद्या उसकी उपासना पद्धति है त्रिपुरा कामकला और श्री चक्र के प्रतीकात्मक स्तर पे। तो ये हम तंत्रालोक की दृष्टि से कह सकते हैं। और बड़ी शीघ्रता से शिव सूत्रों को भी अगर आप देखने लगें तो आपको दिखाई देने लगेगा कि शिव सूत्रों और जो श्री विद्या है उसमें आपस में बड़े गहन संबंध हैं। केवल हमारी दृष्टि का विकास उस तरह से नहीं हुआ, हमने देखना उस तरह से नहीं शुरू किया कि इन दोनों के आंतर संबंधों को समझें। क्योंकि एक भारत के दक्षिण भाग से उठ करके श्री विद्या आ रही है और इधर कैलाश से उठ करके कश्मीर शैविज्म आ रहा है, और दोनों का समन्वय किस रूप में हुआ है वो हमसे अभी तक गुप्त था, वो हमारे सामने अभिव्यक्त नहीं था। तो आज हमें ये सौभाग्य मिला है कि आज इस विषय को हम पूरी गंभीरता के साथ, आनंद के साथ और विनम्रता के साथ इसको समझने का प्रयास करेंगे। तो ये कुछ सूत्र हैं जिनकी मैंने उसके साथ संबंध को समझने का प्रयास किया है। इसको पढ़ नहीं रहा, लेकिन मैं ये आपके साथ स्लाइड्स शेयर कर दूंगा जब आपके साथ शाम को मैं इसको साझा करूंगा। इसी तरह से आपको स्पंद कारिका और बहुत सारी कारिकाएं ऐसे मिलती हैं जहां पर आपको शक्ति तंत्र और काश्मीर शैविज्म के संबंधों को देखने को मिलता है कि जैसे कि स्तंभ कारिका की प्रथम कारिका में ही तम शक्ति चक्र विभव प्रभवम शंकरम स्तुमः, ये इस तरह की बहुत सारी कारिकाएं हमें उपलब्ध होती है अन्य अन्य ग्रंथों में जो इन संबंधों के विषय को स्पष्ट करती हैं। इसी तरह ईश्वर प्रत्यभिज्ञा कारिका में भी कई ऐसी कारिकाएं हमें देखने को मिलती हैं जो श्रीविद्या और कश्मीर शैविज्म के संबंधों को स्पष्ट करती हैं। और इस सारे को विषय को विश्राम देते हुए मैं आप लोगों के सामने ये अंतिम स्लाइड रख रहा हूँ कि अगर आप इस सारे विषय को भूमिका के रूप में, ये सारी बातें मैं आपसे कर रहा था, इसका सार जो है वो क्या है कि एक और दर्शन के रूप में त्रिक, स्पंद और शिव आदि हैं जिनके बीच में जो मूल तत्व है पराशक्ति त्रिधा है, जो परापरा अपरा शक्ति चक्र की गति जो है उन्मेष और निमेष रूप है, चैतन्यम आत्मा शक्ति संधान अहम इदम एकत्व, ये सारी चीजें हैं। और दूसरी तरफ जो श्री विद्या के साथ आपको इसकी समानता देखने को मिलेगी वो त्रिपुरा की जो 3 शक्तियां हैं, श्री चक्र की का गतिशील चक्र भाव और बिंदु त्रिकोण चक्र आदि का अद्वैत भाव। तो ये एक सार रूप में आपको देखने और समझने को आज मिलेगा। और अगर इसको इसी सारे को एक दूसरे पक्ष से भी आप देख सकते हैं कि अगर हम इधर कॉन्सेप्ट्स रख लें, प्रथम भाग में अगर इन अवधारणा जिनको कॉन्सेप्ट्स कह रहे हैं, परम तत्व, शक्ति, भूमिका, तत्व संरचना, मुक्ति मार्ग और उपाय, तो काश्मीर शैव दर्शन में परम तत्व के रूप में शिव, चेतना और प्रकाश विमर्श मिलते हैं। तो श्री विद्या में आपको देवी त्रिपुर सुंदरी बिंदु में शिव आपको देखने को मिलेंगे। शक्ति की भूमिका के रूप में अगर आप संबंधों को देखने लगेंगे तो अभिन्न शक्ति, पराशक्ति या स्पंद जिसे कह रहे हैं, तो श्री विद्या के रूप में आपको मूल शक्ति, 9 त्रिभुज और आवरण आदि में देखने को मिलेंगे। और तत्व संरचना की दृष्टि से, इस कॉन्सेप्चुअल दृष्टि से अगर आप देखने लगेंगे तो 36 तत्व जो हैं वो, और उसी तरह के 36 तत्व श्री चक्र के आवरणों में आपको सिमटते दिखाई देते हैं। और मुक्ति मार्ग में आकर के प्रत्यभिज्ञा जो है जो उपाय है वहां पर आपको थोड़ा सा समझना होगा कि काश्मीर शैविज्म के जो 4 उपाय हैं वो अणु उपाय से लेकर उपाय तक, और इधर जो है वो क्रम आपको दिखाई देता है कि आपको दिखाई देती है। तो ये पृष्ठभूमि के रूप में अगर हम इसको ध्यान रखेंगे तो श्री सुजीत जी जो आज हमारे मुख्य वक्ता हैं वो इसके आधार पर जो कुछ हमें बताएंगे उससे हमारी दृष्टि का न केवल विकास होगा बल्कि हमारी दृष्टि में एक वो सघनता भी आएगी जिससे कि हम उस स्वरूप को, अनंत स्वरूप को, सौंदर्य स्वरूप को समझने के योग्य बनेंगे। तो मैं इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ आज के मुख्य वक्ता को, रिसोर्स पर्सन को आमंत्रित कर रहा हूं कि वो इस विषय के ऊपर अगले लगभग 35-40 मिनट, 45 मिनट चर्चा करें और फिर हम उनके साथ संवाद आरंभ करेंगे। तो यू आर वेलकम, प्लेटफॉर्म इज योर सर।
Sorry, is it audible? Hello?
Yes, you are clear.
Thank you.
Should I share your PPT?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay, just a second. Just a second. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I should enlarge it. Is it okay?
Yes, no, it's okay, sir.
Okay.
My sincere pranams to all the distinguished members. Let me start with invocation prayer to Shakti. Sindhuraruna Vigraham Trinenam Manikyamauli Suratara Nayaka Shekaram Smitamuki Mabina Vakshoruham Hanipya Malipurna Ratnachakam Raktol Palam Vipratim Saumyam Ratnakadastaraktajaranam Dhyayet Paramambigam Sau Paraye Nama Sau Sundariye Nama. Today's our topic, Srichakra, ShriVidya and its interrelation with Kashmir Shaivism. Actually, both are one and the same only. The ShriVidya is the ritual praxis part of the Kashmir Shaivism, and its philosophical foundation is highly echoed in Tripura or the Trika philosophy. So let me first unfold the basic notion of Shakti and how the philosophy of Shakti is different from other systems. So here, like I first stated, in gross level, the Shakti and Shaktiman appears to be distinguishable, but they are inseparable also. So if you are in the soteriological pathway, if you are aiming for moksha from a subjective or sadhaka perspective, the recognition of Shiva is equal to recognition of Shakti only, because the Shaktiman is the possessor of all these Shaktis, and the recognition of the absolute self is nothing but the discovery of his powers. Similarly, the recognition and similarly the object of recognition or the objective reality or the ontological object, that is the Parasamvit. The object of recognition or the objective reality of a day-to-day discourse is the expression of Shakti only. That is the first point. Because in Vedanta or in other systems, the earlier version of Kashmir Shaivism, the Shaiva Siddhanta, and in Vedanta system, they are excluding Maya and they are embracing the transcendental reality as the absolute one. And for in that aspect, Abhinav Gupta in Tantraloka called it as Vedirega Turyadida, that is transformed by exclusion. They are excluding the Maya concept or the mundane, the immanent aspect of the Parasamvit. But when it comes to Shaktism, according to Abhinav Gupta, he called Shakti, the Shaktism as a Vishesha Darshana, not Samani Darshana. It's because of its quality of Avyakteriga Turyadida, that is transformed by non-exclusion. Initially, prima facie, we can see it as a transcendental concept, but there is an intercontinuity going inside this Parasamvit that has been clearly explained in the Parakrama or the Anuttara state. It is also called as Ekavira Krama, that was propounded by Acharya Abhinav Gupta. In that you can see the Hridaya Bija of the Para Mandra, the Hridaya Bija of that Para state, that is Sauhu. And this Sauhu is the third Shakti Koda of the Bala Mandra. Bala Tripura Sundari is the tutelage deity to ShriVidya pantheon. And according to MP Pandit, Bala is the gateway to Tantra Shastra. And the version of Bala is explicitly pertaining to the South Indian version of SriVidya, and it has been evolved from the Para concept of Kashmir Shaivism. For example, if you are taking the Shakti period of Kanyakumari, the Bala period of Kanyakumari, and if you are connecting with that of Sharada Peedam, the entire Sushupna, the entire Kundalini channel of India, likewise it is connected from Kerala to Kashmir. So these Shakti period act like the diverse and integral codes of consciousness, which is connecting the Mooladhara and the Sahasrara. And geographically, we can see it as Kashmir and Kerala. The Bala Peeth, the Mata Kanyakumari temple in Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu, and the Sharada Peeth in Kashmir. Next, we come to Yantra. There are three types of Yantras, as mentioned, as Vekta, Sukshma, and Para. This Vekta is of anthropomorphic form, that is physical only, that is in the grossest form. Example, the we come across the dhyanas, the contemplative verses and the icons that we can see with our naked eyes. And next comes the sukshma, the aniconic, that means the concrete and the abstract form. The cognition of her illuminating nature mirrored in Srichakra. Let me explain that. Here comes the concrete and abstract comes and means Srichakra combines both the concrete and abstract form, which is almost equivalent to parapara, that is equivalent to beda. So these communion of these para and abara, the communion of beda and abeda, duality and non-duality, which is being merged in the sukshma concept, and that is Srichakra. And the para, which is the paravak, that is a 15-lettered Panchadashi mantra. Since it is the mantra given by our lineage gurus, we are not authorized to disclose it. But let me go through the basic words of that. The three kudas are there. The first kuda start with ka, the second with ha and sa. First is known as Kamaraja Bija. Then Shakti Bija and Vagbhava Bija. In this, the concept is very abstract only. We couldn't able to find a image, or we can't imagine the form of a deity which is Nirakara. That is in the para form. This paravak, which is beyond all the state, which is a stateless state, and is which is explicitly related to Anubhaya, that is the stateless state, where only experiential, the pure experience, that is experience beyond all cognitive possibilities, that only exists there. It is a purely experiential stage. Very difficult to explain that through words, because that stage itself is the source of all words and forms. Next, we are connecting. Now I come to Kashmir Shaivism, the basic concept of Kashmir Shaivism that was earlier explained by Sir, like the Pratyabhijna, Spanda, Pratyabhijna, and Kaula Trika Krama. I would like to connect these three major systems of Kashmir Shaivism to the three primordial energies of the Parasamvit only, that is Icha, Jnana and Kriya. Because Icha, the primordial will, that is the primordial desire, that is closely related to Spanda, because Spanda is the first pulsation, the first Icha for creation in the state of Anuttara. Then comes the Pratyabhijna. Pratyabhijna is closely pertaining to the Jnana concept, the recognition, the cognitive phases and all that we come across in Krama system, the 12 cognitive pulsation phases of Kali, starting from Srishti Kali to Kala Sangarshni. So these are all closely related. And then comes the Kriya, the ritual praxis aspect. In Kaula Triga and in Krama also we can find so many legacies, so many lineages through Guru Paramparas. There may be some subtle difference between this ritual practices and all, but the deities are the same only. Maybe the offerings, what the Arkhya we are giving may be different. For example, that all things are contradictory in Dakshinachara, in Vaidika system. The offerings are different from that of Kaula system. However, in its oneness, the Kaula Triga Krama is closely related to the Kriya aspect of ShriVidya. Now, I would like to point out a definition given by Swami Lakshmananju in his book, The Secret Supreme, that Kashmir Shaivism is known as the pure Triga system, consisting of Para, Parapara, and Apara. And regarding these deities, Para, Parapara, and Apara, my research is going on that, but till now I couldn't find any concrete linkages to connect that. But there are some intuitions. There are some intuition regarding that. This para is exactly connected to this Rajamadangi in the southern tradition of ShriVidya, and Parapara is the combination of both, that is Para and Abara, which is ShriVidya only. and Abara is the concept of Varahi. That is all. These all three deities are included in the South Indian tradition of ShriVidya. After getting Bala Diksha with Ganapati, the aspirant, after doing sadhana and duly assessed by the Guru, he will be elevated to the Panchadashi with Varahi and Rajamatangi. After that only Shodashi will be given. Now come back to Pratyabhijna. The Pratyabhijna, the word Pratyabhijna, you can see that the Prati plus Abhi plus Jnana. So according to the great tantric philosopher and scholar Sri Navjeevan Rastogi, the Prati is Prati Santana, that is redirecting. So it is from subject to object. So if you are worshipping Srichakra from Bhubura, from outside to inside, that is from Bhubura to Bindu, that is Prati Santana. That is Prati Santana, that is we are starting our journey of sadhana from subject, that is sadhak, to the object, that is Bindu only. So this is the Samhara Krama of in Kaula Srividya. If you are considering the Smartha tradition or the Vedic tradition of Srividya, they are following Srishti Krama. So next.
This is the next.
And according to Acharya Abhinav Gupta, and as he mentioned in Tantra Loga, he has introduced two words, that is Shakti Samvardhana, that is power proliferation, and Shakti Samakarshana, that is power attraction. And you can easily connect the concept of Shakti Samakarshana, that is the power retraction, that resonates with the Pradisandhana, the word Pradi, defined in the Pratyabhijna philosophy. Because the power attraction, whatever the power released by the Bindu in the process of manifestation at the apex of creation, and we are the result, we are the subject. We are again starting that journey from the subjective perspective, that from through the power we are getting back to power. That is power retraction, Shakti Samakarshana, that is purely Samhara Krama only. And Shakti Samvardhana is the creation of, that is the creation or manifestation, that is the journey of consciousness from the Bindu to Bhupura. That is Shakti Samvardhana. So these two modes of worship, this Shakti, the Samhara Krama, the Srishti Krama and Samhara Krama, is undoubtedly paralleling with the concept propounded by Acharya Abhinav Gupta in Tantra Loga. Then comes the second connecting word. In Pratyabhijna, we have already covered Pradi Sandhana, that is Pradi. Then we comes to Abhi, that is readiness to encounter or facing. So if we are worshipping Srichakra, we are facing Bindu through Srichakra. Even though Bindu is a part of Srichakra, it is through Srichakra that outer retinue of Devadas, through that only we are getting connected to Bindu. So Sadhaka facing Bindu, that is the Jnana oriented. From through that we are getting right knowledge. Right knowledge means the totality of the knowledge, that is immanent and transcendent, and that is almost equal, that is completely equal to Shuddha Vidya. Shuddha Vidya, there is no concrete evidence for that, but I assume that the term ShriVidya has been taken from the Shuddha Vidya concept of Kashmir Shaivism, because the term ShriVidya was first given by a commentary to Yogini Hridaya, that is Deepika. Deepika is the commentary for Yogini Hridaya, and the term ShriVidya was first mentioned in that commentary only. So now next we come to And in the due course of the lecture, I will detailedly explain how the Jnana concept, the totality of knowledge, the right knowledge, the Shuddha Vidya, how it is connected to ShriVidya through a detailed analysis of how Shuddha Tattvas are related to Srichakra. In that aspect, I'll try to explain that. Now you can see a diagram that is the inverted triangle. Usually in two types of Sri Chakras are there. Like as I earlier mentioned, the Vedic, the Sri Chakra, the Smarta, they are following that. They are following the Srishti Krama. In their Sri Chakra, the inner triangle, the Siddhi Prada Chakra. I mean, the second avarana after Bindu. Bindu is the first avarana from the perspective of the apex of creation. And the second one is the Siddhi Prada Chakra. In that, the inverted triangle, why it is inverted? Because it is reflecting the Pragasha. That is Aham Vimarsha only. There is no difference between that. We can't distinguish. We cannot distinguish in its gross or in its subtlest level. So the second avarana, that is Siddhi Prada Chakra, that is the inverted triangle next after Bindu. In that, we have Sadashiva on the left, then Ishvara on the right, and Shuddha Vidya at the bottom. And at the center, we could find a Mahabindu. That is the first avarana that we have discussed earlier. That Mahabindu is nothing but the Paratida Avastha or the Anuttara Avastha that was envisaged by the Acharya Abhinava Gupta in his Parastrimshika Vivarana. The Anuttara stage where it is ineffable. It is ineffable means the word can't express that. The same concept we can find in the Anakya. The Anakya is which is not definable. It is beyond words, because that itself being the source of the words, it's very difficult to define the attributes of that particular thing using words, and that is Anakya. Anakya is a concept which is coming under the Kramagali system of Kashmir Shaivism. So this state is the central Bindu, that is Mahabindu, that is the Paratida Avastha, and it is also called as Sarva Anandamaya Chakra. The Sarva Anandamaya Chakra, from the word Anandamaya, it is closely related to the Ananda Shakti of the Chit Shakti, which is none other than Pragasha and Vimarsha.
Should I move forward or should I stay here? Should I move the slide?
थोड़ा move कीजिए सर, थोड़ा वो शुद्ध तत्त्वस और वो thatness थोड़ा नीचे थोड़ा आइए सर.
Is that okay?
This is okay, sir. This is okay.
Okay.
Let me introduce a brief introduction to these Shuddha Tattvas. I am not going to all the Shuddha Tattvas, Ashuddha Tattvas, and the combination of both the Shat Conjugas and all those things. But because in the one class it is very difficult to draw a homological comparison between the 36 Tattvas and the Srichakra. So I am limiting myself into Bindu and the Bindu, I mean the Sarvanandamaya Chakra and the Siddhi Prada Chakra in this lecture. So let's come to the Shuddha Tattva. That is, Tattva means thatness, the principle. There is no exact word for Tattvas in English. So that is the thatness. If this is Shiva, then that is Shakti, Pragasha and Vimarsha. So this reflect thatness. So Shiva Shakti in indistinguishable stateless state. Stateless state here means Anubhaya, that is Mahabindu in Srichakra. Sadashiva, Ishvara, Shuddha Vidya reflect Kamagala, the primordial triangle of tranquility. So the Mahabindu, in the Mahabindu state, that is Anuttara, the Shiva and Shakti is indistinguishable. They are in Samarasya. They are in Samarasya. So they are in like I said, in Samarasya, they can be separated. They are in mutual coexistence. So in that state, the first spanda, the first impulse of icha arises. So there comes two identities. The Mahabindu began to divide into two. That is the subject. That is the first division of subject and objects. That is none other than Kameshwara and Kameshwari. Likewise, the Sadashiva is the Icha aspect. That is the Spanda. I am this concept. In that, I is the predominant. The subject is predominant there. So it is called Idam Aham Vimarsha, and that is Kameshwara. And Ishvara Tattva is the Jnana aspect, that Sadashiva recognize that this am I. Here it is object oriented, and Jnana aspect, that is Idam Aham Vimarsha, that is Kameshwari only. See, through words we could able to distinguish this, but in pure experiential stage it is beyond time and space. So we can't give a perfect explanation for that, because this is purely experiential. The Bindu divides into Kameshwara and Kameshwari, the subject and object, and then comes the Shuddha Vidya, the third aspect of the Kamakala, that is Kriya aspect. Here the Iham and Adam are equally balanced. They are distinct yet in indistinguishable unity. Here comes the Pratyabhijna connection, as I earlier stated. The para plus abara equal to parapara, that is equal to ShriVidya, because if we connecting the Falashruti of ShriVidya, the result, that is Bhoga and Moksha. She is Bhoga Moksha Pradayini. So that means that she is the totality of transcendence and immanence. The absolute Parasamvit is also in her, and the entire cosmos is also within her. So in that aspect, she can be called as Shivatmiga, that she is being the heart of Shiva. Likewise, the Parabija, the Sauhu Bija, as being the heart of Bhairavatmana, that is already said in Parabijam Bhairavatmana, that is the heart of Bhairava. This Sauhu, the Parabija, Sauhu is Parabija, that is the heart of Paramashiva. In the same time also, she transcends Shiva, become the mother of Shiva, like Shiva Tida. So at the same time, she is inside the heart of Shiva, and she is also wombing Shiva. So by logic and practicality, we couldn't able to imagine that. That's why I already stated it's a pure experiential. It's purely experiential experience. So sir, is I am going fast or
no,
learners are. I hope they're my concepts are just absorb, just getting into their bosoms. I hope so. If they have any problem with my language or rendering,
no, not at all. We are following you well.
Please let me know.
No, we are following you well. Please go ahead.
And here Icha plus Jnana is equal to Kriya. Like we stated, Para plus Abara equal to Parapara, Icha plus Jnana equal to Kriya, Nadam plus Bindu equal to Kala. So this one divided into two and then forms the three. This a triad form is basic, and this is the doctrinal pedestal that connect Triga philosophy with ShriVidya, because the philosophy of ShriVidya, what all the magnanimity that now we are seeing in the transmission of ShriVidya from Kashmir to South India and its pan-Indian movement in its diversified versions, that all emanate from this triad concept of Kamakala. And likewise, the other also, if you are coming to the Kamakala Vilas of Punyananda Yogi is undoubtedly hailing from Kashmir only. So there are some masters who are from Kashmir. They have taken these concepts to South India. And I would also like to mention one name, that is Madhuraja. He's one of the disciples of Sri Acharya Abhinavagupta, and he's from Madura of South India. In his Gurunada Paramarsha, he clearly mentioned that the philosophical basis of the ShriVidya is basically resorted to Kashmir Shaivist philosophy only. So the Icha plus Jnana equal to Kriya. Here, the Idam and Aham reflect each other since they are in indistinguishable unity. The stage, the now I am explaining is of relating to Shuddha Vidya. I have already explained the basic notion of Sadashiva and Ishvara Tattva. Now we are discussing more about Shuddha Vidya because the concept Shuddha Vidya is I found it convenient to connect this concept to ShriVidya. The names are also similar, the Shuddha Vidya and ShriVidya. For example, in ShriVidya is also known as Raja Vidya because it is being practiced by all the Chakravartins and Rajas. Hence, ShriVidya she is a kingmaker only. She is the maker of kings. Because in the subtle aspect also we can found that she is giving identity to Shiva. That's why only Navjeevan Rastogi has once stated, Professor Navjeevan Rastogi was once stated, Shakti is the definitional concept of Shaivism. Without Shakti, we can't define Shiva. So if you are giving Shiva the Nishkala Brahma, the which is without any attributes, without any qualities, Niragara, which is completely abstract, and we can't perceive with our five sensory organs. We can perceive or we can realize with that five sensory organ. Sorry, I just got blocked in my discourse. So many ideas are coming. This is the main problem with this concept related to Shakta Tantra and all. It's very difficult to confine to one ideology and make it systematic because this is almost like Srichakra. It is in its diverse form, so it's very difficult to put it into a compact form. So kindly forgive me for that. Actually, I lost that connection, what I am about to say. There are so many ideas just rushing into my mind, so I am trying to streamline it.
Follow the crumb system and things will be okay. Please carry on.
So likewise, the Maya, they appear distinct and diverse in gross levels like Veda, the plurality and diverseness, and Abheda, singularity. So here, the Idam and Aham, they are reflecting each other. So they are in the perfect balance. They are in the perfect equanimity. So that's why Shuddha Vidya is closely related to ShriVidya and it is closely related to Srichakra because Srichakra is nothing but that was already stated by Sir that Srichakram Shivayor Babu, that is which is the body of Shiva only. And what gives life to that body? The madrigas, the letters, the mantras that we are infusing into that Srichakra gives lives to Srichakra. So it is also, we can also call Srichakra as Madriga Chakra because there we are doing the vinyasa. Where we are doing the vinyasa of the madrigas, the phonemic alphabet, the phonemic alphabet, that gives life and soul to Srichakra. So if there is no madrigas in Srichakra, then that is a mere geographical diagram only and it is completely abstract. The person could not able to grasp its abstract ideas. We may end up with getting some concrete ideas, but regarding the abstractness of the Srichakra, these two concepts have to be merged. That is the total unity of Kameshwara and Kameshwari, the union of Shiva and Shakti, that forms the basic cornerstone, the philosophical and the metaphysical cornerstone for the Srichakra, the union of Shiva and Shakti. So this union is reflected in Idam and Aham. They are reflecting each other and that give rise to Kameshwara and Kameshwari. And when this Mahabindu split into two as Kameshwara and Kameshwari, the subject and object, the Idam and Aham, then this also get reflected as the primordial triangle of Kamakala because the cause is because this is completely the cause and effect relationship. Mahabindu is the cause for all these things, and Kamagala is the effect of that. In the next stage, Kamagala will be the cause for the other subtle growth stages to unfold. These avaranas. So these are, we can see a dichotomical relationship between the cause and effect in the complete peripherals and inside of and the inside areas of Srichakra also. The Srichakra is completely the cause and effect diagram. We can simply say Srichakra is a cause and effect diagram, the complete union of Shiva and Shakti. Yeah, that in figure 3 that I have given, that Mahabindu, that has been divided, that have splitted into Nada and that is Bindu Visarga and Nadam and Anuswaram. Anuswaram and Visarga, that is these concept comes under the Madriga. Nadam Bindu are the common terms associated with Shrividya also, because and these forms the Kala. That is why this is called the first Kala, that is Kama Kala. And in Srichakra and in Lalita Sasrama also we come across Mahatribhura Sundari as Nada Bindu Kalatmiga. Nada Bindu Kalatmiga means she is encompassing these three concept. Not only that, she is the beginning. From her only these three stage arises, and she transcends these stage also as the fourth one, as the Paradita. That's what we that these notion can be related to the term Paratrimshika Vivarana. Paratrimshika Vivarana means that she standing, that she is existing beyond these three state, through these state, and being the reason for these three states. Next come to that we have discussed Nada, Kala or Anuswara, Visarga reflected as Kala, Kama Kala. And one more thing, if we are discussing about Kalas, we come across some concept as Ama Kala in Kashmir Shaivism. That is nothing but the 15 lunar digits, the 15 tidis of our moon, that is closely connected to ShriVidya. The 15 seed letters of Panchadasha Akshari equal to 15 Tidi Nityas. But if some people may ask that, then what is this 15 Panchadashashari letter, how it is connected to Shodashi, the 16 letters mantra, for example, as mentioned in Nitya Shodashi Garnava. If you to this 15 seed letters, if you are adding the Kamala Bijam, the Shri, then it's become Shodashi. And this 16th one is the that is the full moon. That is the after the 15 phase, the full moon phase, that is called Shodashi. There is also the 13 letter mantra in ShriVidya, that is Maha Shodashi, which is nothing but than Para only. And one of the interesting fact is that during the course of research, I come across a Bhattariga mantra, that is known as Bhattariga mantra, that is 32 letter mantra, which is dedicated to Mother Kubjiga, the Kubjiga goddess. Undoubtedly, the Kubjiga tradition, the Western, the Paschima Amnaya, the Western tradition that has transmitted from Kashmir to Nepal, the Kubjiga tradition, the Kubjiga and Shrividya tradition is very much closely connected, because there is mentioning of these Nityas and all these concepts in the Kubjiga Mada, then Chinjini Mada Samuchayam. These are the basic text of Kubjiga Tantra, and all the birthplace of all these Tantra is undoubtedly Kashmir only. Then comes Sarvanandamaya Chakram. Sarvanandamaya Chakram we have already discussed. Sarvanandamaya Chakram is the Mahabindu in Srichakra. That is the Ananda Shakti of Chitta. That Ananda Shakti, she is all time flashing. We may come across the word Sas Purata. That is, she is always flashing beyond time and space. She is always in Samarasya with Shiva. She is always reflecting. She is always reflecting the identity of Shiva and making Shiva blissful. She is the blissful factor of Shiva. She is making the Shiva blissful in a poetical sense. So in the term Paramashiva itself, we can sense that Paramatvam, the sovereignty, the Paramatvam which has been given to Shiva, which is given by Shakti only, that is Para. That the word Para denotes in the Paramashiva. I would also like to share one aspect from my side. This is my first lecture, and being a Shakta Sadhaka, there are two modes to approach that Bindu. Either it can be through Shiva or it can be through Shakti. But if one is realized, there is no relevance for other, because the two are one and same only. So from Shakta perspective, my rendering will be giving a bit importance to Shakti. It doesn't mean that I am set aside in the Shiva doctrine. Then now we come to the Krama system, how the Srichakra is connected to Krama. In Mahanaya Prakasha is the doctrinal text of Kashmiri Kali Krama by Maheshwara Ananda. In that it is written like Pida Chakradarabhyam Samaya Vidyantam Samena Samrajenya Maharta. Maharta here means that the great way. The Maharta is simply the Kali Krama of Kashmir, also known as Mahanaya, Maharta. All these words are interchangeably used. And the Pida Chakraradhyam Samaya Vidyantam. Pida Chakraradhyam means the Pida and Chakras. Chakras, we can infer from here that these are Srichakra also, the dichotomy of the inner cosmos and the outer cosmos, the Chidakasha and Mahakasha. And regarding the Samaya Vidyantam here, Samaya Vidya is nothing but the Tripura philosophy. That's what is referring to. Samayana Samrajena Maharta. So all the tantric practices starts from this basic concept of Pida and Chakra. Here the Pidas, the basically 4 Pidas are there, that Odyana Pidam, Purnagiri, then Kamaraja Pidam, etc. One more is there, I forgot it. Odyanam, Kamarajam, Purnagiri, Jalandharam. Jalandharam is the present Jalandhar, and Odyana Pidam is considered to be the birthplace of this Tripura, the complete philosophy of triad, because the Rishi or the Siddha belong to that Pida is Sage Durvasa. The Sage Durvasa is also known as Krodha Bhattaraga. Bhattaraga is the title we are giving to the higher ecclesial classes of Srividya Upasakas, the Para Bhattaraga, all these things. So Durvasa is also known as Krodha Bhattaraga. Likewise, he is related to ShriVidya tradition, the Odyana Pidam. He is the Siddha Guru of the Odyana Pidam. Odyana Pidam is at present in Swat Valley only, almost near to Kashmir. So all the tantric practices start from the concept of Pida and the Shadadaras. The chakra, we can refer it as the Srichakra also, and the 7 chakras in our body starting from Mooladhara to Sahasrara. And the Samaya Vidya. So all these processes which is systemized in a krama, the succession, the path of succession, the puja, all those things in succession only. And what is the end result? What is the final destination of all these krama? That's what is known as Samaya Vidyantam. All the krama will culminate or dissolve or unfold in the Samaya Vidya, that is Tripura philosophy only, the modern ShriVidya. And this unfolding we can relate it to the avaranas of the Srichakra. Unfolding it and dissolving it in ourselves. By getting that tattva, we are moving to the next stage. That is all about the complete journey of ShriVidya from Bhupura to Bindu. And according to Mahanaya Prakasha of Siddhikanta, the Pidas and Chakras to ShriVidya. ShriVidya is one because Martha the summit of all and there are also two things we have to discuss regarding this. One is the concept of Pendad, the concept of five related to Kali Krama. That is Srishti, Sthiti, Samharam, Anakya and Bhasa. Anakya means Tirodhana, which is hiding, and Bhasa means which is illuminating. That is Anugraha. These five concept of Kali Krama is almost similar to Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, then Anugraha, Tirodhana of the Srichakra philosophy. And Siddhikanta, the author of Mahanaya Prakasha, defined two deities, that is Samayeshwari, Anakya Samayeshwari and Bhasa Samayeshwari. This is, from my concept, I assume that this is the culmination or the perfect blending of the Kali Krama and the Tripura Krama, because Anakya is related to Kali and Sameshwari is related to Tripura. In modern world, we can see these two concepts in Kerala also. There is a deity in Kerala called Balabhadra. Balabhadra, in that Bala is ShriVidya Devata and Bhadra is Bhadragali. The fusion of the ShriVidya and Kali Krama that we can see in the Western transmission, in Nepal also, we can come across such deities. This culmination, they are keeping these deities in their personal space only. Because there are some secret ritual. These are all Gopya, all these are Gupta rituals, and it can't be performed in a civic space or a democratic space. It can be done in our personal ritual space. So that's what it's all about. So Tirodhana, then Vrinda, another concept relating the Krama system is the Vrinda Chakra. So according to Maheshwarananda, it is believed that Maheshwarananda is also known as Ishvara Shiva, who has introduced ShriVidya in Kashmir. But further research has to be done to concrete that fact. So the Vrinda Chakra, there are some these chakra homologies in Kashmir Shaivism, that is Vrinda Chakra and Bhuvana Chakra. Bhuvana Chakra is nothing but the manifestation of the energy as entire universe. And Vrinda Chakra in same concept only, but Vrinda Chakra is pertaining to the Mula Shakti as the Bindu and the retinue of Devadas around her, the circle of the Shaktis under her. For example, in Nitya Kaula, Mahatribhura Sundari is the locus of that full Bhuvana Chakra, full Vrinda Chakra, and these 15 Nityas are surrounding as the retinue deities of Tribhura Sundari. So likewise, the Vrinda Chakra, likewise the Vrinda Chakra is explained. So these concept, if you are comparing this, and another thing also, the Madriga Chakra, the chakra of the phonemic alphabet. So if we are harmonizing and blending all these concepts, all these concepts are reflected in Srichakra. Madriga Chakra is reflected, the Vinyasa of Madrigas. Likewise, we are doing the Vinyasa is nothing but when it comes to our embodied practice, the Vinyasa is we are doing Nasa. We are doing Nasa in each part of the body with that 51 letters invoking the 51 intelligence. I would like to call the intelligent Shaktis of the Mahatribhura Sundari. So on all these ways, these are connected. Further research and deliberations have to be encouraged in this field, since it is an unexplored field till now. Up to sir, thoda
okay.
वो क्रमाणाम प्रदविक्षेपम.
Okay.
Now we also try to go through some other poems in the Krama, that in the Krama system and in the ShriVidya philosophy, that how the mutual transaction, or the import or export of the philosophical concepts between the Tripura and Krama. through the concept of Srichakra. So there are two movements which has been defined in the Kamakila Vilasam. Kramanam Padaviksheba Kramodaya Tena Katyade Avaranam Guru Bangdik Dwayam Ivam Amba Padambuja Prasara. After reading this, I would request all of you to try to imagine the Pada Ambuja of that Amba, that two magnificent lotus feet of Devi. From one feet, the Srishti is starting. From one feet, the process of manifestation, then the sthiti comes, then it is retracing back to the second feet only. So here the Srishti, Sthiti and Samhara is nothing but that is the complete totality of the Pada, the total lotus feet of Maha Tripura Sundari only. These all things are being done at the feet of her. So let's try to explain it into a more philosophical way. Here the term Padaviksheba. Here term Padaviksheba means the manifestation, the power of mother to manifest in innumerable form. So here the Srishti concept is here it is based on Srishti concept. These things we can trace back this concept to the concept we have discussed in the first phase of this discourse, that is Shakti Samvardhana and Shakti Samakarshana. Shakti Samvardhana, the power proliferation is exactly the same, the Padaviksheba. That is one and same only in the at the apex of creation. Then it is Kramodaya. Kramodaya means the journey of a sadhaka through Srichakra to Bindu through Guru Mandala. And there comes the path of succession, the rules, the regulation to strictly follow a Guru Parambara. The stage, for example, in ShriVidya, first Bala, Ganapati, then comes Panchadashi, then comes Shodashi, then comes Mahashodashi. This is a krama. There is a line, there is a system for that. This is called krama. So that krama we have to follow when we are starting our journey from subject to the Bindu. So the word Padaviksheba and Kramodaya is nothing but it is simply denoting the Srishti and Samhara Krama Pujas of the Srichakra. And in parallel with that, I would also like to just reiterate the importance of Guru Mandala, because the Guru Mandala is that we have discussed in Kramodaya. Sir, same, sir. Thank you. This one, sir. Bus, sir. Okay, sir. See, what I have explained that you can read here, the Padaviksheba as manifestation Srishti and Kramodaya as a way of Samhara in Srichakra Puja from subject, sadhaka perspective, that two legs or 2 feet starting one to dissolve in another. So these two Padambujas are the concept of Sri Guru, that is Rekta Shukla Sammishra, which is the you may see some images of Guru Baduga that has 2 feet joined together. One is red in color, one is white in color. That red color denotes Shakti and white color denotes Shiva. Red color denotes Vimarsha, white color denotes Pragasha. And the samarasya of these two, the samarasya state of these two is the epic concept of Sri Guru. That's why in ShriVidya tradition, not in ShriVidya tradition, in all the Tantra related lineages, the concept of Guru and Guru Mandala is very much important. Like that's why Mata Tripura Sundari is known as Guru Mandala Rubini in Lalita Sahasranama. And it is also mentioned in Bhavana Upanishad that Shri Guru Sarva Karana Shakti Buddha. That's why earlier I have asked you to contemplate or to imagine the 2 feet of Devi. The word imagination is not a proper one. Some foreign scholars have used it as contemplative, creative contemplation or active imagination, like that. But I don't think there is an exact word for bhavana, because there should be a creative aspect. We have to do, apart from doing japa, puja and all, we have to do that contemplation also, that bhavana also. Then only that aikyanu sandhanam will happen. After transcending all these differentialities, the sadhaka one day will become one with Shakti. So there is no difference between sadhaka and Shakti. That's what one in I think it is in Sharada Tilakam. Those who become Shiva is the only authority to worship Shiva. Shivam Bhutva Shivam Yajet. So that is the principle for that. And Spanda and Srichakra. The Spanda, the primordial pulse, the throbbing, the first Icha to manifest, the first action of giving identity to Shiva, which is being done by Shakti. So since she is giving identity to Shiva, she is considered as mother of Shiva, as the Shiva Tida. She is transcending Shiva. The Shakti transcending Shiva is the extreme form of Shakta philosophy. These all those details, the transcending of Shakti, the transcending of Shakti, the transcending of Shakti that we come across in the deeper philosophical aspect of Kashmiri Kali Krama system. Because Shrividya is a concept of Yamala only. There, because it is the union, it denotes the union of Shiva Shakti only in Samarasya. They are always in Samarasya. There are no transcendent, because there is transcendent eminence is there in equal ecopose. And that's why if you can see the concept of Kali, she's been figured as terrible mother, the devouring force, the Kala Sangarshni, all those things. That is the extremist form of Shakta philosophy. And ShriVidya is the moderate form of Shakta philosophy. That is their entire concept is Yamala only. But in order to get that stage, you have to go. All these things are interconnected only. And coming back to Spanda, the primordial pulse throbbing, that is the Icha of Purnahanta. Here Bindu split into Kameshwari and Kameshwara. That we have already discussed while explaining Srichakra. This is the 6th sutra in Shiva Sutra. That is Shiva Sutra, that the Spanda related text in Kashmir Shaivism. I'm not delving into the more details of that, because if possible, we can cover all these concepts, the Spanda and the Pratyabhijna, how it is connected to ShriVidya through Madrigas, through letters. In this session, I am taking the perusal tool as Srichakra only. I am using Srichakra only to connect these two concepts. In the next session, we can take the mantras, the Bija mantras of Bala, ShriVidya, and all those things. Not explicitly the mantras. We will take some seed Bij letters and we will connect from that. For example, the Malini Stavaraja of the Kumari Ganda, the Malini Stavaraja, which is mentioned in the Kumari Ganda of Bhairava Mandana Tantram, undoubtedly of Kashmirian based text. In that, the Malini Stavaraja starts with I Bijam. Aim Bijam, it starts with Aim Bijam. And the Bala Tripura Sundari mantra of ShriVidya system is also starting with Aim Bijam. So there are some, we have to do some mantra related hermeneutic analysis on that. That I hope we can cover in the next session, the mantra analysis of that. So the Shakti Chakra, then Shakti Sandhane Vishwa Samharam, where there is a union with circle of energies, there is a dissolution of Samhara in the universe. Simply, this is nothing that by worshipping Srichakra, at one state, will become equal with the Srichakra or our body. I mean, during this is the Bahya Puja only. This is the external form of worship Srichakra. At the advanced stage of Srichakra worship, that was mentioned in Uttara Kaulam, in the Mahashodashi stage and all after Shodashi, we, through the power of this contemplative creation, through the power of Bhavana, we start imagining Sri Chakra inside our body. There start the rituals of Antaryaga. That is to be considered as the highest form of worship. After that, almost similar to our Shamba Ubaya. Because Sri Chakra, the external form of Sri Chakra worship, the mantra concept, all these things are related to Shakta Ubaya. These Shodashi, Mahashodashi, Shodashi concept we can connect to Shamba Ubaya and Sri.
Please continue. Please continue. Someone.
And the Mahashodashi concept we can connect to Anupaya, the stateless state. So, this is the topics of our today's discussion. Now I'll take some 10 or 5 minutes to some miscellaneous concepts and ideas. This is all part of my research and I would like to share with you. These are all some concepts which are connecting the ShriVidya tradition with the Kashmir and the Kashmir Shaivism. See, the word is Srinagara, that we come across the Srinagar, the Kashmir is Srinagar. That is Srinagaram only. That is the city of ShriVidya, the city of auspiciousness. So there are some connection. Further research has to be done in order to concrete this fact. And the Laliladitya, the Kashmirian king, the Laliladitya Muktapida, who belongs to Karkota dynasty, he built the Martanda temple. It is a sun temple only. But there are some close syncreties between this Martanda temple and ShriVidya. Because if we come to Nada Bindu Kalatmika, the triad concept, then we come across the sun, moon, and fire. The Trikantas are there, which is explicitly mentioned in ShriVidya, the Trikantas. There is also a Trikanta Mudra is there. That is the 10th Mudra of the Navayoni Mudra. Trikanta is the 10th Mudra. So Trikanta is the state of sun, moon, and fire, which is closely related to our three Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Grandhi in our body. So this Laliladitya, he has built a temple, Martanda temple, which is dedicated to sun god in Anantanagar district. Why I want to connect this is that because in our puja pattadi, in our tarpana vidhi of daily ritual, we come across during doing tarpana to ShriVidya, we come across a mantra that mantra is Panchadashi plus Hram Hrim Hrum Sa Martanda Bhairavaya Pragasha Shakti Sahidaya Swaha. This is purely a Kerala mode of worship only. The manuscript, the leaflet, the palm leaf, the old palm leaf, the patadi, which is of origin of Kerala only. But I don't know how the concept of these things, which has gained from Kashmir, has come to Kerala. So these are all things which is connecting. The Martanda temple, and it is explicitly calling as Martanda Bhairava, all these things. Then Balaham, a village in Kashmir, there you can find a temple of Bala Tripura Sundari. Bala is nothing, she is the Kashmirian evolute of Para only, because Bala is the entry point to Tantra and Para is the ultimate stateless state of Tantra. Likewise, it is connecting the same Srishti and Samhara concept. And this Bala Tripura Sundari, this Bala Devi is the family deity, the Kuladevi of the Dogra rulers in Kashmir. And my sole research is focused on the Bala and Para. There are so many philosophical and mantra-related homologies, similarities, and synchronities between these two deities. So my research is entirely to culminate and synthesize and concrete the idea that this Bala and Para is the just on a geographical basis that is, and in its gross level, these are the geographical evolutions of two deities. But in philosophical level, but in its deep, subtlest level, these, it is one and same only. Bala and Para is one and same only. But most people see Bala as the South Indian goddess belonging to South Indian ShriVidya tradition. But as there are so many deep undercurrents which is connecting Bala with Para, and ultimately they are harmonizing and become the one and the same Mahabindu. And the Shariga temple in Srinagar, the Chakreshwari, it's also known as Chakreshwari temple, that is Swayambhu. There is a Srichakra on rock. It is an 1800 goddess residing in Srichakra and presiding deity. She is the presiding deity of Srinagar. This thing we can directly connect to the Srinagaram, the Srinagar concept that I have discussed earlier. Because since Shariga is the presiding deity of Srinagar, Shariga can be equated with Mahatribhura Sundari. Mahatribhura Sundari is the presiding deity of Srinagaram. And here Shariga is the presiding deity of Srinagar. Srichakra, where Shariga Devi is installed on Srichakra only with the 18-handed goddess. Hearing this, many people may subject to some doubt that how Tripura Sundari is adorned with or decorated with this 18-handed goddess, because in most of the South Indian paintings and text you can find Tripura Sundari with the 4 hands, very gentle, soft, beautiful, and with all magnanimity. Here there is subtle difference between iconography, because the iconography which prevailed in Kashmir belonged to Tripura tradition is somewhat different from that of South Indian tradition. In Bala and Para, you can same see the Jnana Mudra, the Pustaka, Abhayavara Mudra, the Pustaka, and the Rosary, the Jabamala. All these things are similar to Para and Bala. Whether it is South Indian or Kashmirian, it is same iconography only. The color is a little bit changed. In South India, the color of Bala is red, and in Kashmir, the color of Para is taken as white only. Then some people can ask, what is the difference between that? Nothing difference, because that difference based on Kamagala only. Kamagala means the triad, which is related to the Trigunas, Sattviga, Rajasiga, and Tamasiga gunas. When the concept is defined in Para, that is pure Sattvic. But when it comes to Jnana aspect, the Rajasiga guna, the white becomes red. That is the Bala only. That is the only difference. There is no mass difference between those two concepts in its deep philosophical aspects. Regarding iconography, there may be some difference. And then comes the Sharada, Narada, and Vagdevi concept in Kashmir. We find that the Sharada Pidam of Kashmir and these two other deities are related to Sharada, the Narada and Vagdevi. Sharada is nothing but she is ShriVidya only, and Narada is considered to be the deity of music, wisdom, and all those things. Likewise, I assume that there is no any textual basis for that. These miscellaneous fact I have discussed, it is purely based on my assumption and research. Narada Devi is considered to be the goddess of wisdom and music. Likewise, the secondary deity of Srividya, that is the Rajamadangi, she is considered as the minister-in-chief of Lalita Mahatribhura Sundari. Rajamadangi is the provider. She is holding a veena. She's reflecting the concept of Sangeeta, wisdom, all those soft aesthetic skills. And the Varahi is the commander-in-chief of Mahatribhura Sundari in Srividya. Varahi, she's also known as Vartali. Vartali means Vagdevada. And since she is a Vagdevada, since she is the giver of that, the power of Vag, she is also the Devada of Stambana. The Vak Stambana. She is also considered as the Devada of Vak Stambana, Varahi. So we can see that in the secondary tantric practices, because I would like to call that secondary tantric practices, they are doing the Shat Karmas for the material benefit, the Marana, Uchadana, Vashyam, Stambanam, all those things. Apart from first tantric things, that is purely soteriology based for salvation only. So the second tantric multitude use Varahi for this kind of material benefit, but ultimately she is Vagdevada only. She's also Stambhana Devata in its application perspective, but she's basically the Vak Devata. Vak Devata is Vartali. So likewise, she is connected to Vak Devi of Kashmir. So I hope that the concept of the South Indian concept, they embrace the Lalita Tribhura Sundari, then Varahi and Raja Madangi. These all concepts are taken from Dashamaha Vidya, because in Dashamaha Vidya we come across Shodashi, Tripura Bhairavi and Bagalamukhi. Bagalamukhi is the Stambhana Devata. It was and these Dashamaha Vidya has gained, they have imported these philosophical traditions from the Kashmir Shaivism. This is my conclusion on that. So with that, I would like to conclude. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sujith ji. Thank you.
And since this is my first presentation, since this is my maiden attempt in my entire life journey, especially in my academic journey, so there may be some faults, there may be some grammatical mistake and all those things. So I only
it's all right.
just
it's wonderful listening to you, and you are really a master scholar. You know your stuff very well. I really appreciate this. So, not going here and there, let me begin with some queries, some questions, some comments with the audience we have here. Let us begin with Dr. Deepika ji from Vishuddhi Films, Mumbai. Ma'am, please go ahead.
Yeah. Namaste, Sujith ji. This has been a wonderful lecture, and I am just awed with the way you have explained this. And unless you've experienced things with your guru, such things wouldn't come out from you. Thank you so much for this lecture. I have just shared a picture with Ashutosh ji. आपके mobile पर मैंने share की है. If that can be shared on the screen, it will be nice. See, I'm just sharing a photograph. We have been working on Kandariya Mahadev Temple of Khajuraho. So we make documentary films and all. And this is a picture of, as the scholars say, Kam Kala Yantra. So the one that you were speaking of is the primordial, in the primordial triangle. There are two females on both sides, and there is this Shakti and Shiva. He's reversed. You'll see this on the screen if possible. Possible होगा आशुतोष जी?
हाँ जी, just a minute, क्योंकि मुझे इधर से उधर शिफ्ट करना पड़ेगा ना.
मोबाइल लैपटॉप पे हो गया? लैपटॉप पे?
कोई नहीं, मैं शेयर कर लूंगा.
Okay, so before that is done, just one question. You are saying that this Bala and Para, Bala is of the south, generally understood as the south. Yeah, here it comes. So this is the picture that you can see, and a yantra is drawn on it. So this is done, it's in Khajuraho temple, a very famous sculpture. And it's in this kind of thing, people don't understand what it is. And there are two female, maybe Ida Pingala, I don't know.
Madam, actually there are four, it is depicted four deities, right? One is
male is male is on the reverse. No, they are females. All are
both
females.
All are females only, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
we can have
madam, we can but I the connection from my perspective, what I think is that these four deities can be related to Para, Vama, Jeshta and Raudri.
Okay.
Because here Para is the one, because the Para, which is the one, see that the sitting pose deity is holding the other two deities. So here the Para is holding both Para and Abara.
Okay.
The parapara is the central one at the top. She is holding both para and apara, like so. She's the middle one. She is the parapara, and the fourth one, which is heading downwards. Heading downward, that denotes, I'm not sure about it, but I from my limited knowledge, what I about to say is that the downward deity represent the Urdu, the Urdu Amnaya in an inverted sense, madam. I mean, it is showing the deepest, that is the concept of which is transcending all these three, and all these three, which is transcending all these three, being the source of all these three, because that is the source. The parapara is connected to that downward deity.
Okay, let's have some other other versions also.
Let's discuss this later, maybe.
We'll have a discussion on this also, because these are quite serious things, and we need some more scholars on this. What they think about it, and how do they explain all these architects.
Actually, this is
Dr. Krishnananji, will you like to say something on this? Dr. Krishnananji हिंदू यूनिवर्सिटी से हैं, काशी हिंदू विश्वविद्यालय से, बनारस से, और धर्मशास्त्र और तंत्र के विद्वान हैं। तो अगर वो इस सारे विषय पे कुछ टिप्पणी करें, और फिर धीरे धीरे हम बाकी लोगों की जो हैं टिप्पणियां इस सारे विषय पे लेंगे। और हमारे साथ डॉक्टर रमाकांत जी भी जुड़े हुए हैं, अगर वो थोड़ा माइक पे आ सकेंगे तो मुझे अच्छा लगेगा कि इस सारे विषय के ऊपर वो अगर कोई टिप्पणी हमारे साथ साझी करें।
नमस्कार सर, हमको कोई विशेष टिप्पणी नहीं करना है, और इन्होंने बहुत अच्छा व्याख्यान दिया है, और सब जो ग्रंथ का जिन नाम ले रहे थे सब जो है तंत्र के ट्रेडिशनल है, और एक विशेष त्रिपुर उपनिषद है, उसमें भी बहुत अच्छे से श्रीविद्या का वर्णन है। और तो इन्होंने जितने भी पुस्तकों का नाम लिया व्याख्यान में, सब तंत्र से संबंधित है, और उसमें आप तंत्र विद्या के बारे में आप देख सकते हैं। और बहुत अच्छा व्याख्यान था सर जी।
जी जी, ठीक है। जी, डॉक्टर के सदानंद जी एंड अदर आल्सो, सुनील जी, आप तो वोट ऑफ थैंक्स भी करेंगे, और बाकी चीज़ें को भी आप देखें अगर कोई टिप्पणी आपकी है। डॉक्टर सुभाष जदू जी हमारे साथ हैं, एंड एनीवन एल्स हु विशेस टू शेयर हिज आइडिया, थॉट, एनी कमेंट्स और क्वेश्चन, सम क्वेश्चन इज देयर, तो आप लोग बात कर सकते हैं हमारे साथ। क्योंकि सुजीत जी ने जितनी बातें कही हैं वो निश्चित रूप से कोई प्रामाणिक व्यक्ति ही कह सकता है, जिसने साधना भी की है और जिसे शास्त्र का ज्ञान भी है, और बहुत कम समय में उन्होंने बहुत सारा ज्ञान हमारे साथ साझा करने का प्रयास किया है। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये एक अच्छी शुरुआत है, और ये जैसा कि हम सभी जानते हैं कि दिस इज़ अ पार्ट 1, विल गो फॉर द पार्ट 2 आल्सो सर्टेनली, क्योंकि बहुत कुछ ऐसा है जो हमारे जानने लायक अभी शेष है। जी, तो आप अपना स्वयं अपना माइक ऑन करके अपनी बात कह सकते हैं। और सुनील जी, सुजीत जी, मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा कि सुनील रैना राजानक जी दिल्ली में है, लेकिन इन्होंने कश्मीर शैव दर्शन, कश्मीरी जितने मंदिर हैं उनकी वीडियोग्राफी और उनका जो इतिहास और उसका जो स्ट्रक्चर है उस पर बहुत काम किया है। और डॉक्टर दीपिका जी, आपकी जानकारी के लिए भी मैं ये बता रहा हूँ, क्योंकि आप टेम्पल्स के ऊपर बहुत काम कर रही हैं, तो सुनील जी आपके लिए बहुत सहायक हो सकते हैं कश्मीर के जितने टेम्पल्स हैं। तो आप दोनों मिलके भी इस सारे विषय के ऊपर काम कर सकते हैं। जी, बात सुभाष जी से शुरू करते हैं, फिर आगे चलते हैं।
धन्यवाद आशुतोष जी।
जी जी सर।
आवाज आ रही सर?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, लाउड एंड क्लियर सर।
ठीक है सुजीत जी, आपका बहुत बहुत आभारी हूं मैं। आपने हमारे जन्म स्थान के ऐसे ऐसे जगहों के नाम ले लिए जिनसे हम गदगद रह गए। पहला नाम आपने लिया सन टेम्पल का, फिर आपने दूसरी शक्तिपीठों का नाम ले लिया, तो चूंकि सुनील जी भी हमारे साथ इस मंच पर हैं, तो मेरे ख्याल हमारे यहाँ हर एक गांव में शक्तिपीठ हुआ करता था। क्योंकि मेरे फादर के नानिहाल थे, एक पुलवामा तहसील में एक गांव है पिंगलिन, वहां पर भी वो अपनी इष्ट देवी की जो पूजा करते थे उसका नाम पिंगला देवी था। और उस चीज को देखते हुए जो सुनील जी के भी रिकॉर्ड्स हमें समर्थन में बात करेंगे, करीबन हमारे पास कश्मीर में 1000 से भी ज्यादा स्थापन है जहां पे शक्तिपीठ है। और अगर आप एक चित्र मैंने भेजा है आशुतोष जी आपके व्हाट्सएप पे, मैं चाहूंगा कि वो भी आप सुजीत जी को एक बार स्क्रीन पे बताइए या शेयर कर दीजिएगा। क्योंकि कश्मीर में जितनी भी क्रिया, धार्मिक क्रिया ही कहेंगे उसको, हमारे यहाँ होती रही है, वो तांत्रिक ही होती रही है। और अभी भी हम लोग डिस्पर्सल मोड में है, तो अभी भी हम जब भी कोई भी अनुष्ठान करते हैं तो तांत्रिक विधि का ही हम फॉलो करते हैं। मैं सुजीत जी आपके साथ एक शेयर करना चाहता हूं कि हमारी जो पंचांग है जो कश्मीर की है, उसमें अगर आप देखेंगे पहले पेज पे ही ये पृथ्वी का जो हम समर्पण सवेरे उठने के लिए करते हैं वो देवी के रूप में ही होता है। उसमें शिव का नाम तो बाद में ही आता है। और हमारे वहाँ पे हमारी जो नित्य पूजा है उसमें ललिता का नाम किसने डाला होगा, या वो ललिता वही है जो साउथ इंडिया में हम ललिता का दर्शन देखते हैं, आई कैन नॉट कमेंट अपॉन दैट। सिर्फ इतना ही आपसे शेयर करना चाहूँगा कि हमारे यहाँ पे जो अभी आप ज्योग्राफिकली कश्मीर का अगर आप बाई चांस मैप देखेंगे तो हमारे यहाँ एक जो मेजर रिवर है जिसकी बेस पे पूरा कश्मीर बसा हुआ है आज के दिन में, वो है वितस्ता, जिसको वहाँ पे फिर इस्लामिक रूल में नाम बदल करके जहलिम रखा गया। वो वितस्ता जो है वो हमारे सदर्न सेक्टर से शुरू होकर के नॉर्थ में जाती है। अब पता नहीं तंत्र विद्या में ये सब कैसे वो लोग डिफाइन करते होंगे, मगर हमारे यहाँ पे जो किसी भी अनुष्ठान में पूजा की जाती है वो बिना वितस्ता के शुरू नहीं होती। और ये जो रिवर फ्लो है ये साउथ से लेकर नॉर्थ की ओर है। फिर नॉर्थ में बारामुल्ला से होते हुए, जिसको बारामुल्ला का नाम था पहले अगर मुझे सही ज्ञान है, तो फिर ये चली जाती है पंजाब की ओर, पाकिस्तान की ओर तब चली जाती है। अब ये कहना बड़ा मुश्किल है कि ये जो आप बार बार कहते हैं कि दक्षिण भारत में भी ऐसा है, मुझे लगता है कि एक माइक्रोकॉस्म करके कश्मीर में पूरी सृष्टि को हम पूजन करते थे, जिसमें कोई भेद नहीं था कि ये उत्तर भारत या दक्षिण भारत है या ये पूर्व भारत है या पश्चिम भारत है। वहाँ पे सामूहिक रूप से तांत्रिक पूजा में इन सभी डायरेक्शंस का, रिवर्स का समावेश है। क्योंकि हमारी नित्य पूजा में अगर सिर्फ वो कश्मीर सेंट्रिक होती तो उसमें वितस्ता के साथ सरस्वती, गंगा, महानदी, कावेरी, ये सब नाम होते ही नहीं थे। क्योंकि जितना भी हमारे पास वहाँ पे दर्शन है वो सब तो श्रुति ही थी, लिखाई तो बाद में आ गई। और हमारे यहाँ जो लिखाई होती थी, एक स्क्रिप्ट है जो भारतवर्ष में अभी ज्यादा उभरा नहीं है, शारदा स्क्रिप्ट है। उसमें जो हम एक की मात्रा लिखते हैं शारदा में, वो कहते हैं वो तांत्रिक रूप है देवी का। और ये कहते हैं कि वो इमात्रा के बगैर तो पूरे शब्द कंक्लूड ही नहीं होते हैं जब तक ये उसकी ध्वनि में ना आ जाए। बस ये 2-3 चीज आपके साथ सुजीत जी साझा करना चाहता हूँ, हो सकता है कहीं पे आपके काम आ जाएगा। आशुतोष जी आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद डॉक्टर। और इस दृष्टि से भी हमें विचार करना होगा जो आपने साझे किए हैं, क्योंकि जो लोकल ट्रेडिशंस हैं और जो नेशनल ट्रेडिशंस हैं, मुझे लगता है कि दोनों आपस में बहुत गहरे से जुड़ी हुई हैं। बस ये है कि कॉलोनियल माइंडसेट की वजह से हम उन सबको देख नहीं पा रहे हैं, हमारी देखने की क्षमता बड़ी सीमित हो गई है। तो खैर एनीवे, और आप में से कोई अपनी बात कहना चाहे, प्लीज शेयर योर थॉट्स, योर कमेंट्स, योर क्वेश्चंस। आप वक्ता के साथ एग्री डिसएग्री भी कर सकते हैं जी। अगर प्रोफेसर रमाकांत जी हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं तो मैं चाहूँगा कि सारे विषय के ऊपर एक टिप्पणी ज़रूर हमारे साथ साझा कर दें। और जी मैम, दीपिका जी।
पहले सर बोलेंगे तो बहुत अच्छा लगेगा।
हाँ, मैं भी चाहत तो यही रहा था कि अगर वो सुन रहे हैं, मैंने उनसे निवेदन तो किया था कि वो हमारे साथ जुड़ें, तो लेकिन तब तक और कोई आप में से एक राजीव शेखर जी हैं, मोहन, डॉक्टर मोहन
छोटा सा प्रश्न था मेरा।
जी।
It is pretty related to the curiosity of scientists. So that I'm asking, ये the primordial spand. I mean, the very आवाज नहीं आ रही?
नहीं, अब क्लियर है। हाँ, प्राइमोर्डियल स्पंद।
The very primordial spand that happens, it happens because of the ichha or
you're losing your sound.
First thing happens because one. हेलो
हाँ जी मैम, बीच में आवाज ब्रेक हो रही है।
आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ, आवाज आ रही है लेकिन बीच में ब्रेक हो रही है बार-बार। लेकिन मुझे लगता है शायद आपका प्रश्न ये है कि ये जो साइंटिफिकली प्राइमोर्डियल स्पंद है, उसका संबंध को लेकर के शायद आपका प्रश्न है।
हाँ, अब आवाज आ रही है क्या? हेलो?
हाँ जी, अब आ रही है।
हेलो?
हाँ जी, क्लियर है।
इसमें जो फर्स्ट स्पंद होता है उसमें क्या बिना किसी फोर्स के वो ऑटोमेटिक स्पंद तो नहीं हो सकता। द फर्स्ट प्राइमोर्डियल स्पंद दैट हैपेंस and through that the whole universe comes into being. So that prasar happens. So the very first thing how it happens, ichha, in science we cannot understand anything that happens without a force. There has to be some kind of a force that impinges that first spanda. This is how I want to understand how it happens.
उसके लिए तो इच्छा तो चाहिए ही।
मैडम
इच्छा तो भी कोई
अपनी इच्छा अपने आप में
फिजिकल वर्ल्ड है।
मैडम these are all
जी रिस्पॉन्ड। हाँ प्लीज रिस्पॉन्ड सुजीत जी, एंड देन विल गो टू द नेक्स्ट पर्सन।
Madam, actually the words I have used to explain that concept, there are some limitations because whatever things we try to explain in mere words, I mean, how come we can explain para in Vaikari stage? By adding more and more words only, we would like, there is a tendency to explain more and more to get the concept clear. So that experiential stage is for pure experience only. That experience we can only get through sadhana. No intellectual, logical, all modes won't be active because this state is completely beyond all cognitive possibilities.
चलिए ठीक है, इसको चलिए मान लेते हैं, लेकिन वी हैव टू बी वेरी श्योर कि वी हैव रीच्ड द लिमिट्स ऑफ अवर माइंड और ब्रेन, कि इससे आगे बुद्धि नहीं गति कर सकती। ये जब तक एक्सपीरियंस में नहीं आएगा तो हम फिर उस अनुभव में शायद नहीं जा सकते। लेकिन उसके लिए ये श्योर होना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि हमने जो है वो बुद्धि की अंतिम सीमा को स्पर्श कर लिया है। तो वेबिनार बेसिकली हैं तो यही ताकि हम
Madam, for example, let me explain in another way also, if you permit. We are trying to explain the wholeness of Devi through Vak. If you imagine that the Vak is emitting from her feet, the Vak, all the Paravak itself is emanating from her feet, and the Para stage we are trying to explain the Para. That is the heart of Tribhura Sundari only, which is Bala, Nivastu Hridi Bala. That is the sloga. So, how come we can explain the heart state of Devi using the words which is only emanating from her feet? So that stage is beyond words. So
ये तो वैसी सी कुछ बात हो गई जैसे उपनिषदों में नेति नेति करके हम ब्रह्म की ओर इंगित करते हैं. We refer to Brahma saying neti 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 neti. So are you referring to that, or like that,
no,
like
sir,
that Brahma
because
permission is like that?
It can't be expressed in Vaigari because that stage is expressed in our Para stage only.
ठीक है, I understand. चलिए, और किसी का कोई टिप्पणी हो, कोई प्रश्न हो, नहीं तो मैं श्री सुनील रैना राजानक जी को आमंत्रित करूंगा कि वो इस सारे विषय पे एक टिप्पणी भी करें और धन्यवाद भी करें. और मैं चाहूंगा कि सुजीत जी को जो है अपने सर्कल में, कश्मीर शैव दर्शन के सर्कल में उनको इंट्रोड्यूस जरूर करें और उनके ज्ञान का लाभ भी लें. उनको भी अच्छा लगेगा और हम सभी के लिए भी वो एक एसेट तो है ही है. और साथ ही मेरा ये निवेदन रहेगा कि मैंने इसमें चैट बॉक्स में 2 लिंक्स डाले हैं. एक तो अपने YouTube का लिंक डाला है, प्लीज़ उसको अगर सब्सक्राइब कर सकें तो बहुत ही अच्छा है. और साथ ही मैंने एक लिंक जो है वो फॉर्म का शेयर किया है, सर्वे फॉर्म का, गूगल फॉर्म का, जो नीति और न्याय के ऊपर जो अपकमिंग वर्कशॉप है उसको लेकर के है. तो अगर संभव हो तो प्लीज़ उसको भी आप लोग भर दीजिए. तो अगर उसको भी रेफर कर देंगे तो बहुत अच्छा लगेगा. तो ये 2 चीज़ें हैं, तो प्लीज़ उसको चैट बॉक्स में से कॉपी कर लीजिए या सीधा वहीं से क्लिक करके आप उसको फिलअप कर सकते हैं. जी, तो मुझे लगता है और किसी का कोई अभी प्रश्न या टिप्पणी नहीं है, तो मैं श्री सुनील जी से निवेदन करूंगा कि he should propose a vote of thanks and make some comments also. जी सुनील जी, प्लीज.
Namaskar, Dr. Saab. Namaskar to all the viewers who have joined today from different parts of the country. First of all, I would like to invoke blessings of our Devi Shakti and Lord Shiva. जैसे काम कला विलास की बात हुई तो उसमें एक श्लोक है, ना शिवेन विना देवी, ना देवी च विना शिवा, ज्ञानोरंतर किंचित चंद्र चंद्र पियो रिवा. न शिव के बिना शक्ति, न शक्ति के बिना शिव है. इन दोनों का जो सामरस्य है, तादात्म्य है, वो इस सृष्टि की रचना का एक आधार है. और जो आज का व्याख्यान सुजीत ने दिया, मुझे बड़ी खुशी हुई. I was quite happy to see that he has understood the concept, the broader concept of the ShriVidya and ShriYantra. As we all know that the teachings and the scriptures of the ShriYantra tradition are from the Shri Ujjika Mata Tantra, and then it got further filtered or detailed into Yogini Hridayam. And Sujit had explained it. A little more of it needs to be shared in the upcoming session. As far as concept of ShriYantra is there, Mahameshwar Abhinav Gupta has explained in detail about it in the chapter 32 of the Tantra Loka. Also, we can get the details about whole of this philosophy of ShriYantra worship in the Paratramshika. I think Sujit has given an idea of it. And the detailed work of Shakta traditions not are only done in the south, but especially in Kashmir, where Punyanand wrote the Kamakala Vilas gave the details of all the structures and the concept of this Bindu, ShriYantra, different geometries of it. Now, as a student of science also, because sometimes we have to link, because all these philosophical traditions have a scientific basis also. So when I see it, Sri Yantra in the modern concept, I see the study of whole cosmology being represented by Sri Yantra. And in today's world, there is a concept of fractals. I don't know whether how many of you know the fractals. If you see the temples, in the temples, in the gopurams, or in the superstructures of the temples, there is a whole big temple, whole big body of the temple, and each body of the temple has a sub temple into it, and in that sub temple there is another sub temple. So this concept of fractals, which in modern science is considered as fractals, because if you see a tree, the roots are there. The roots are there. The roots represent continuously keep on replicating. The same model gets replicated in the different roots. If you see the leaves, the design of the leaves, the kind of veins or the kind of threads you see in the leaves or in the trees, they get replicated in the same fashion. So what ShriYantra is explaining is basically the fractal in the earlier sense. Now, the fractal theory, which is now being practiced or understood, is what the ShriYantra is explaining in the philosophical and theological way. Therefore, I see that the understanding of the fractals with ShriYantra is quite useful. We should explore how we could explain that ShriYantra is nothing but a study of the fractals with the cosmological ingress and egress, so that people in the modern language, the people across the globe and our young generation are able to understand the correlation between both of them. Actually, both of them, what I understood, is the same, but then we need to rephrase it in the same idiom. As far as the worship of Sri Yantra Puja is there, we have already the Kram school. The Kram school in Kashmiri Shaivism has a detailed understanding of all these concepts of ShriVidya and Sri Yantra, because it came from Kashmir, and school of this Shakta tradition spread to Bengal, and one school went to Karnataka and Kerala, and one school remained in Kashmir. So the three branches, if we consider, there are three branches in different parts of our India, which are having a common thread, common understanding. Names may differ, or a bit of ritualistic approach may differ, but overall the concept and the foundations are the same. So the like Punyanand went to South, he explained the concept of a Sri Vidya and Sri Yantra in the South. Similarly, Madhuraja, when he came to Kashmir, he studied under the feet of Mahamaheshwar Abhinav Gupta, and Mahamaheshwar himself has explained about it in the chapter 32 of Tantra Loka. He explained the various concepts of Sri Yantra, Sri Vidya, and also in Kashmir Shaivism, in particularly the great work is done by both Abhinav Gupta and Khemrajji about the yantras, mandalas, and chakras. Although there may be different more than this Sri Yantra, but the whole idea is to invoke the deity, the guru, and the self as a one and get merged into the supreme Shivahood. So the whole idea is to become one with the Shiva through Shakti, with the blessings of a guru. So the traditional approach of it was that in Kashmir, I would like to see, because I have seen certain living saints and practitioners, which are no more now, but they used to worship the Shakta tradition in earlier days, before the migration to when came out of the Kashmir. So they were the very last beholders of this tradition, like Pandit Raghunathji Kukilu. He was the great Shakta devotee in Kashmir, and the geography of Kashmir is itself a Devi. And in Nilmat Puran, it is said that Kashmir Parvati Paroksha Tat Swami Maheshwara. So Kashmir itself is the divine mother goddess Parvati, and that is why the concept of Shrividya was intertwined into our day-to-day traditions as well. And as you also hinted out that Srinagar, the city of Srinagar is named after Shrividya only, as the Devi Shri Sharika Mahamba is the presiding deity of whole Kashmir Mandala, and Srinagar and Sri Chakreshwari there has a Swayambhu ShriYantra made over it on that great big Shila. Similarly, in Varamula has the concept of Varahi. So Varamula came from the worship of Devi Varahi and Vara Avatar. That is why it came to be known as Varamula, which has now got converted into Baramulla. Similarly, Pinglan, which Subhash Jaduji referred to, there is a Devi Pingla Devi, Pinglish, and different these traditions of these Devi worship were carried into different parts of Kashmir Mandala. Each region in Kashmir had a Devi with a specific yantra and was worshipped in tradition with the Sri Yantra Puja. For example, in the North Kashmir, we have a Bhadrakali, and there's a in the specific yantra and puja associated with the Bhadrakali, which is also a part of the Sri Yantra tradition. Similarly, if you go to the south, we have a Bhargashikha Devi, you have Kulvageshwari Devi, you have Ananta Devi. So these Devis are the part of this Sri Yantra tradition only. Apart from that, we have in Baramulla also, presently we worship the Shri Shailputri Devi. So different parts of the Kashmir Valley had been continuously performing this Yantrik Puja in their own ways and means. At the same time, the living example of this tradition was also that Kashmiri Hindus used to continuously worship the Devi in the form of Bhavani Sahasranam, that is the thousand names of the Devi. This was the ritualistic practice in every Kashmiri Pandit household, and it is practiced in our house also currently. Apart from that, there is also Panchastavi, the pantate of five cantos dedicated to the Paramba, Shri Chakreshwari. So that is also a ritualistic and hymn, in a kind of a hymn which is being attributed to the Divine Mother from time to time. So these two are the living methods in Kashmir. And into the Shakta system, the students or the disciples or the seekers were given the Indrakshi Diksha, because through, in Kashmir we have a Indrakshi mantra also, through which the initiation was done, and the disciples used to then move ahead with the Panchastavi and then into Bhavani Sahasranam recitation. Like it was just like worshipping through Anavupaya, then it gets subsumed into the Shaktopaya, and then its Shaktopaya gets finally subsumed into the Shambhopaya. So the tradition in Kashmir was basically coming down from Kram school. The Kram school was then delineated into the geographical pockets where different devis were worshipped with different yantras and mantras, and then it get culminated into the Shambhopaya. So that was how the journey was being continued in Kashmir, and that is how it is still going on to some extent, not to the one which we had been practicing earlier. So it's good that you touched all these, and I think you can think of how we can connect the study of yantra into the fractal formation. So because the modern child or a student or a seeker or those who are interested into this philosophy, they need to give an idea that the science is basically coming from the divine only. So the divine philosophy is what is Kashmir Shaivism, and it explains to the whole universe, to the world, to the people, to the seekers, that the path is of the higher self to the higher realization is through the worship of Shakti, and through Shakti, one gets subsumed into the Shivahood. So that's what I wanted to say to you. I thank you once again for this wonderful work. Please keep on doing it. Thanks again. Namaskar.
धन्यवाद सुनील जी। और आपने जितनी सूचनाएं हमारे साथ साझी कर दी हैं वो वाकई बहुत महत्व की हैं, और मुझे आशा है कि सुजीत जी के लिए ये बड़ी महत्वपूर्ण रहेंगी। और आज की इस चर्चा को हम यहीं विश्राम देंगे। भगवती की कृपा से आज ये हम इस दिशा में अग्रसर हुए हैं, और निश्चित रूप से आगे भी हमें कुछ न कुछ इस तरह का मौका मिलेगा कि हम इस बातचीत को अग्रसर करें। लेकिन आप दोनों की बात सुनते सुनते मुझे लगा कि हमें कोई एक ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट लेना चाहिए जहाँ पर हम यंत्र, मंत्र, देवी और टेम्पल, इन चारों को एक जगह पर, एक स्थान पर हम इनको लेकर के आए और उसको स्थापित कर सकें, ताकि जो नई जनरेशन है या भविष्य में आने वाली जनरेशन है उनको ये बातें सारी आपस में जुड़ी हुई एक स्थान पे उपलब्ध हो जाएं। क्योंकि उन लोगों को ये कोई अनुमान नहीं हो पाता है कि अगर ये देवी है तो उसके साथ उस मंत्र को कौन सा मंत्र है या मंत्र का क्या संबंध है, और फिर उसका यंत्र का साथ क्या संबंध है। तो मुझे लगता है कि अगर इस तरह का एक कोई प्रोजेक्ट किसी भी लेवल पे कोई 2 लोग, 4 लोग या कोई संस्था इस तरह का इनिशिएट कर सके, तो वो अगर कुछ इस तरह का निकट भविष्य में बन सके, तो मुझे लगता है कि एक बहुत बड़ा उपकार हम लोग कर पाएंगे।
डॉक्टर साहब, ये जो आपने बात की ना, क्योंकि हर एक मंदिर के साथ, हर एक प्राचीन मंदिर के साथ एक यंत्र जुड़ा हुआ है।
बिल्कुल। तो ये चीज चारों चीजों को ध्यान में रखते हुए हमें कोई ना कोई एक कंपाइलेशन जो है बुक फॉर्म में करनी चाहिए कि मंदिर क्या है, शक्ति क्या है, देवी का स्वरूप क्या है, मंत्र क्या है और उसका यंत्र क्या है, और उनके ऊपर टिप्पणी जरूर हो। तो लेट अस सी।
आशुतोष जी, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। एकादशी पे द्वादशी छाई हुई है। अब आपके ऊपर है सब, क्या करना चाहेंगे। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
अच्छा, चलिए डॉक्टर, ठीक है। चलिए, तो इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ आज का हम यहीं विश्राम लेते हैं और पुनः भगवती की कृपा की अपेक्षा करते हैं कि सा जयति नित्माकारा, सा जयति, क्या बात है, देखो मंत्र जो है कई बार कारिकाएं ध्यान नहीं आती। सा जयति निज सुखमय निरुपमाकारा भावी चराचर बीजम शिव रूप विमर्श निर्मला दर्शा। तो इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ आज हम देवी को प्रणाम करते हैं, साष्टांग प्रणाम करते हैं, और आप लोगों का मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। सुजीत जी का भी धन्यवाद करता हूँ, हृदय से धन्यवाद करता हूँ कि आपने मेरा ध्यान इस ओर आकर्षित किया, और निश्चित रूप से मैं विश्वास दिलाता हूँ कि इस दृष्टि को हम और आगे विकसित करेंगे और इसको लेकर के चलेंगे। तो इन्हीं सब शब्दों के साथ आप सबका बहुत बहुत आभार, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आप सभी जुड़े, हमारे साथ समय दिया, और पुनः फिर हम लोग मिलेंगे। और मेरा एक बार पुनः निवेदन है कि जिन्होंने फॉर्म नहीं भरा तो प्लीज़ उस फॉर्म को भर दीजिएगा, क्योंकि वो सर्वे जो है वो नीति और न्याय के कॉन्सेप्ट के ऊपर जब हम वर्कशॉप करेंगे तो उसमें वो काम आएगा। मेरे लिए वो बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि अगर हमने सोशल साइंसेज के नैरेटिव को चुनौती देनी है तो उसके लिए वो बहुत ज़रूरी है। और अगर आप YouTube चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर सकें तो वो भी बहुत अच्छा रहेगा, उसके लिए मैं धन्यवादी रहूँगा। थैंक यू सो मच। आप सब लोग अब यहाँ से विश्राम ले सकते हैं। थैंक यू एवरीवन, थैंक यू सो मच।